Huntin' Big with Steve Bartylla. It's brought to you by Bush Hog, Easton, Wildlife Research Center, Millennium, Rage Broadheads, Reconics, Redneck Blinds.
As bow hunters, we are generally great when it comes to practice. We love shooting our Matthews. We get out there, we fling a bunch of arrows, and we just enjoy shooting bow. But you know what? That is great for practicing to get sighted in, but it does you virtually nothing when it comes to practicing killing a deer. If you really want to take your game to the next level, you need to cater your practice techniques so they mimic hunting conditions as much as reasonably possible. You do not want the very first time you're shooting out of a ground blind from a sitting position to be when Mr. Big is standing out at 15 yards, because you know what? That's when you end up hitting the bottom of your ground blind window. How do you know how to adjust that ground blind's window? You practice. How do you know how a head's going to fly through the mesh on a ground blind window? You practice with that head from that ground blind. The more closely you can mimic that ground blind hunting scenario, the more at ease you're going to be when Mr. Big steps out. And now there he is, and you just know he's dead because you have done this exact same scenario time and time again, and you shoot him. So much of making a successful archery shot is in your head. When you believe you're going to do it, you are going to do it so much more often. You're going to make that good shot so many more times than if you are nervous and falling apart. And next, it gives you a chance to practice your form. You want a straight line right across like this from your bow hand out to your elbow. If anything, cock your elbow up a little bit. And then you make an imaginary parallel line across your chest. Now, as long as you keep those two lines parallel, you can twist and contort your body in any way imaginable, all from the hips. How do you make it so you're 20 feet up in a tree, that deer is 15 yards away, and you don't just go like this? Instead, you bend at the waist. How do you do that? You practice. You set up a stand, and you practice from that stand. You practice shooting in all sorts of weird situations. Contort your body in different angles. The more you do that, the more you push yourself practicing, the more you mimic real-world hunting conditions, the better off you are. And at the same time, don't sit there and pace off 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards, 50 yards every time. Instead, make it random. Make it so you have to practice your yardage estimating skills as well. Sure, we have our Nikon rangefinders. We have all these different markers out there. But you know what? As much as they all help, Mr. Big doesn't always show up where he's supposed to. And when he doesn't, you have to make that snap decision. He's 25 yards. How do you get good at estimating yardage? You practice it. The more you practice real-world hunting situations, the better off you're going to be. As hunters, we are outstanding at practicing when it comes to shooting targets. What we aren't very good at is practicing making the kill for bow hunting.
Huntin' Big with Steve Bartylla. It's brought to you by Bush Hog, Easton, Wildlife Research Center, Millennium, Rage Broadheads, Reconics, Redneck Blinds.
As hunters, we are great at practicing in the backyard for 3D tournaments, stuff like that. What we aren't very good at is we drop the ball over and over when it comes to practicing making the kill shot. If you mimic your practice techniques to mirror real-world hunting situations, your success is gonna go up.